Afternoon race fans, welcome here to race number 5 of season 3 of the NCRA Pizza Hut X Series. As we get ready to go racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, getting set for the Heads Up Georgia 250 33 lap event. And we saw pit strategy come into play in yesterday's TaxSlayer Truck Series race. Something tells me that if they were just barely short on fuel with the CTS physics in that race, today it's all going to come down to who has the best car, who has the best track position. Pit road, in my mind, based on this being GNS physics, will not play a factor into the outcome of today's race. But then again, I didn't think we'd have pit strategy come into play in yesterday's race, so maybe surprised once again here today. It's an all-rookie front row. You've got D Olson on the inside, starting on the pole position of row 1. D Olson not having the best of starts this year in the Pizza Hut X Series. Comes in 30th in the point standings. Definitely would love to find victory lane here in only his 5th start of the season. Alongside of him is Jordan Anderson in the 11. He's having a little bit better of a season. Currently situated 18th in the point standings, but obviously would like to have another good points day here today. The row 2, you've got, I believe that's Carson Gum in the 98. Carson Gum coming into this race is currently situated 20th in the point standings, so another driver that's midway in the field. And alongside of him, Madeline Crenshaw, who comes into this race 9 points out of the points lead, second in the standings. Our win from Daytona. Obviously, she would love to get a second win here early on the season to maybe automatically confirm herself a spot in the season's Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship. Another driver right behind her, kitty corner to her on the inside of row 3, starting 5th, is A Navarro, who went to victory lane at Las Vegas. So, some drivers want to get their first win of the season, but there's a few drivers here that would love to get their second win of the season, including our 2 winners from last week's dual races at Bristol, Chloe Erickson in the 46 and Glenn Douthitt in the 6 car. Now, those 2 drivers coming into this race, Glenn with his win moved up to 19th in points, and Chloe moved up to 27th in the standings. So we'll see if they're able to continue their climb up through the point standings after their wins last week. Without further ado, though, let's go down track side and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines.
33 laps of racing in total today, so the stages will be the same as they were in yesterday's TaxSlayer Truck Series race, 11, 11, and 11. So completion of lap 11, completion of lap 22, and completion of lap 33. Let's give you a top 10 in points coming into today's race, presented by Golden Corral. Austin LaPlante is still the points leader. As I mentioned, 9 points in hand over Madeline Crenshaw. A Navarro is 3rd in the standings. He is 10 points out of the top position. Matthew Daleo is 4th in points with Chris Dollerton in 5th. They actually are tied for 4th in the standings, but Daleo has the better average finishing position than Dollerton. Noah Kars is 6th, James Qualls in 7th, Christian Merrick Jr. is 8th, Noah Ponser 9th, and rookie Al Lagasse is in 10th. Some of the drivers that are just on the outside looking into the top 10 include Elijah Gilbert, 11th in the standings, the defending champion. Chelsea Bowles in 12th. Benny Watson, who rolls off from 6th here today, another former champion in the series. He is 13th in points. 14th in the standings is Cole Deaver, and Jacob Rose is 15th. If we go down through the top 20, it's Ashlyn Boyd, R.J. Reynolds, Jordan Anderson, Glenn Douthitt, and Carson Gum. So here we go then. Let's see what we can expect from today's race. It was a complete green flag run race yesterday in the TaxSlayer Truck Series race, as the Heads Up Georgia 250 at Atlanta is green. Let's roll. I think that was Michael Haas in the 19 already forcing the issue very wide. As look at Jordan Anderson getting a big run there on the start. He will slingshot around the outside to the race lead. There might be something wrong with D Olson. It looked like they got wadded up behind the 32. Navarro had to step out of line on Carson Gum, and I don't know if the 32 missed a shift or spun the tire. Something went horribly wrong, because it was pretty much a piece of cake for Jordan Anderson to get around the outside line on D Olson. And we saw in yesterday's TaxSlayer Truck Series race that inside line is the fastest way around the racetrack, so something tells me something went wrong there on the start for the 32. He's up to speed now, but issues early on the start for the pole sitter. So Anderson out to the race lead. Navarro right there in second as we got a nice little pace car. For those of you that were wondering where it was. Now going to go to third place, bypassing Kyle Keith. There's Ryan George now in the fifth spot. Dougie Shears moves into sixth. Jordan Lopez, or make that Jordan, yeah. Let's try it again. Joshua Osborne. Why I said Jordan Lopez. Now going to move by Dougie Shears for that position. Look at him here. 3 wide, about 3 rows deep. This is where it's getting crazy midway in the back. In trouble! That's Daniel Olson! Daniel Olson just got spun. He got spun again. Caution's out. Olson spun. I think he saved it and then he spun it again. And we've got a yellow flag out here for the first time this race weekend. Jordan Anderson certainly, I think, did not want to see that caution come out because he had about 5 car lengths in hand between himself and Navarro, but he'll lead us under our first yellow of the day. So a bad day goes worse for Jordan and for Daniel Olson. Oh, and I think we may have had more drivers involved in that. I first saw the 32. I don't know if he got hooked or what. Something tells me something was desperately wrong with that Alliance Truck Parts Dodge Challenger because you don't normally get run over like that here at Atlanta unless your car is way off the pace. So we'll have to look and see what happened. I mean, it started with the start of this race. He just did not get going. And look at this. Since we are under caution, some drivers are electing to come to pit road. And I just saw one of our former winners this season from Rio de Janeiro, Noah Ponser, was on pit road. So he was apparently someone who was collected up in whatever this incident was over in turns 1 and 2. And there is Olson, and those are the only 2 cars that are on pit road, so I don't know. Oh, looks like Glenn Dewitt, our winner last week, one of our winners last week from Bristol, got involved. Looks like some damage there also on 10th in the standings, Al Lagacy, and I thought I saw a little bit of damage maybe on the 17 of Aiden Shepard. I'm not certain if I was seeing that correctly, but we will get an in-depth look of who was involved in this. It all started, I believe, with the 32 of Daniel Olson as Jordan Anderson leads us here under our first caution of the day at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This was going down into turn 1. And, well, it almost looks like Olson came down into Phil Parker. And nowhere for the 6 of Glenn Dewitt to go. And then Olson comes down, sideswipes Ponser. Matthew Daly got a piece of that. Look at Baranauskas just sneak through. And, oh, Chelsea Bowles, teammate to Olson, got a little piece of that as well. And then it continued further up here. Oh, there's where, oh, wow. Al Lagacy getting clobbered by Dewitt. And then you see as well the 17 of Aiden Shepard was involved. Look at Ashland Boyd down there. Nice avoidance by him. He got way down the apron, nearly spun trying to hang on to the thing. That apron is not exactly what you'd call a grip lane down there. So rewind it just a little bit because I'm curious if it was the 6 or the 28. I think it might have been the 28 that came back up and swept traffic. Oh yeah, because watch here. After he had the contact with Olson, he's going to go up, clobber that outside safer barrier, and then it shoots him back down the racetrack. Boy, Baranauskas did a nice job avoiding that wreck. And then down into Al Lagacy, there you see also contact with the 17 of Shepard. And Ashland Boyd did get a little bit of damage on the front of his number 20 Camry. And that's why he actually almost went spinning around. And there you see them sweep up and collect Glenn Dewitt for a second time and Chelsea Bowles. Nice avoidance as well by P.J. Williams and Z Flickinger to get to the bottom of the racetrack to avoid this. But, boy, if we had an Allstate Good Hands Driver Award, I think it would go to Andra Baranauskas. There's no way she should have been able to get through that with cars sweeping up around her. But she got through with absolutely no damage. But that to put us under the caution. A couple of former race winners this season. Glenn Dewitt in the 6, Noah Ponser in the 28 involved. A couple of drivers as well that were running well in the standings. Ponser came into this race 9th in points, and Al Lagacy in the 90 came into this race 10th in the point standings. So tough break here for a couple of drivers early on in this thing, as we'll now go back to the green flag. Lights have just gone out atop the pace car, so we have gotten the 1 to green signal, and we'll go back green on lap 9 of 33. The top 16 drivers did not come to pit road under this yellow flag. So from Anderson back to Chloe Erickson, those drivers have not come to pit road here under this yellow flag, and that would include Anderson, Ryan George, Kyle Keith, Jacob Rose, Joshua Osborne, J Shears, James Qualls, Matt McIntyre, Phil Parker, Christian Merrick Jr., J Jefferson, Austin LaPlante, Cole Deaver, and Chloe Erickson. Actually, I said the top 16. It was actually the top 14 did not come to pit road. All these other drivers did come to pit road, from Chris Dollerton in 15th, Shelly 16th on down. So they all, now we know for certain, are good to go on fuel. I still think these drivers that stayed out, though, are good to go on fuel as well. I think maybe those other drivers came to pit road maybe to just get fresh Goodyears here for this restart. After the incident, though, you can see we have two cars that are lined up on the tail end of the, or lined up a lap down. Poncer and Daniel Olson returning back to the track. One car out of the race, and that is Chelsea Bowles in the 31. So 41 of our cars still running, 39 of them on the lead lap as we go back green. Jordan Anderson, let's see if he can get a good start as he did back at the initial start of this race. Green flag back out. It looks like he's going to step away from Ryan George once again. Boy, that 11 car is really good on the restarts. This battle's going to go on for third place. That's where Jacob Rose is to the inside of Kyle Keith. Joshua Osborne in that mix, along with J Shears. Osborne's teammate James Qualls, Matt McIntyre there, along with Phil Parker. You got three of them, like the Motorsports Chevrolets up here inside the top 10, the 7, 9, and 5. Two of the, or the only two Joanna Abbott Motorsports cars of Qualls and Osborne. They're going to go 3 wide, 2 rows deep. And that could be a sign of the fact that these drivers are on a little bit older tires. We got that yellow flag come out with about 4 or 5 laps completed. So it's going to take these tires a little bit of time to get the grip back in them. They're probably slipping and sliding around right now. Here comes Matt McIntyre, the inside of Jacob Rose. That's for second place. Big gap from Cole Deaver, Shelly, Jefferson, and Dawson Wise back here to Carson Christian Merrick Jr. company, and that's because they had trouble getting around the two slower race cars of Noah Poncer and Daniel Olson. Carson Brown last time by was scored in the 14th now, and they lost about 3 seconds on 13th on up, which would be Dawson Wise right now in that 13th position. Meanwhile, though, Jordan Anderson has set sail, and boy, that car, the restart, has been his best friend, and that's what's allowed him to open up this race lead on both of our starts. The start of this race, as well as now here on our only restart so far today, and he's already, as you saw, won the first stage of this race. That gap is closing between him and Matt McIntyre. McIntyre cut it down by about 2/10 that last time by. And Jacob Rose is not close enough to be able to make a move on him, but he is close enough to offer a bit of drafting support down these straightaways to the Liberty University Chevrolet. So Matt McIntyre right now in a good position to maybe have a big run on Jordan Anderson if and when he catches him this time by, closed it down by another 800s. Deaver has now cracked the top 5. Deaver coming into this race just outside the top 10, the points 14th in the standings, a former chaser from last season here in the Pizza Hut X Series. Right behind him, another former chaser from the past 2 seasons, James Qualls in the 27. That's the 3 wide there. That is for 4th place, putting Kyle Keith up top, Deaver in the middle. And little by little, Matt McIntyre continues to chip away at Jordan Anderson's race lead, and it sounds like we may have traffic up ahead momentarily, and that is Noah Poncer in the 28. Not too far ahead is Daniel Olson, so Jordan Anderson going to have to deal with slower traffic for the first time here today. Poncer, that car is definitely not up to full song. That car is idling. Now where's Anderson going to be able to make the move on him? Jumps up to the high side and looks like he'll be able to make the pass. Matt McIntyre, though, not able to figure out where to go. He tried to go high. Poncer didn't let him take it, and now James Qualls with a big run says, all right, you can't get by him. I'm going to move to second position. Looked like Matt McIntyre wanted to fill the hole that was made by Jordan Anderson on the top side of Noah Poncer. Poncer, I think, thought that McIntyre would want the low line on the back straightaway, and they got their signals crossed. They're going to cross the position to McIntyre. Qualls now moving into second place. James Shelly, another former chaser, up here inside the top 5 now in the 4th position. And a pretty struggling start to the year for the 71 team as he comes into this race weighted 24th in the standings, but having a good run right now, that Sweet Frog Chevrolet. Anderson makes the quick move on Daniel Olson. Qualls the same, and Matt McIntyre says, all right, this time I'm going to have someone to follow. He followed Qualls through that 2nd and 3rd place. Sounds like another car up ahead they might encounter. Well, that's Glenn Dewitt and Al Legacy, the 90 and the 6. They are in turn 4. The leader is in turn 3. So yeah, Jordan Anderson going to encounter some more traffic as the battle is on for 2nd. Matt McIntyre to the inside of the 27 of James Qualls. And this is not exactly in either of these cars' best interest, because that's not going to help them be able to catch that 11 car. I think with the strength that Anderson has shown, especially here on these restarts, these drivers, in order to even get to him, they've got to work together, let alone pass him, which we haven't seen anybody be able to do yet. Now, Shelly and Cole Deaver, they appear to be working together, and as those two, McIntyre and Qualls, battled with each other, now Shelly and Deaver are up in this group. Anderson down to the inside on Glenn Dewitt, who almost just doored the 11 car. And now Anderson going to get stuck behind Al Legacy, at least for the moment. That may slow him up just a bit, and here comes Matt McIntyre with a big run. The question is, can he get to the inside of Legacy? No, he can't. He had a big run there, and all of a sudden the 90 just killed all his momentum. If he'd been able to get to the inside of the 90, he may have been able to close up the gap between himself and Anderson by a good 4/10, maybe half a second. As it is, it's about 3/4 of a second separation between the 11 and the 9 right now. Cole Deaver has now moved his way up into 3rd place. Down out that 15. He's shown some pretty good speed here in the last few laps. And he might be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. I think that may be it for traffic that we'll have to deal with for a while. As soon as I say that, there's Aiden Shepard. He's in turn 2. Leader's in turn 1. So no, we may end up still having one driver left for these leaders to have to contend with. As the battle right now on for the 4th position, James Qualls to the inside of James Shelly. James and James show for 4th place, but Shelly was able to get the slipstream off the 13 on the back straightaway, so Qualls will have to tuck in line in that 5th position. Top 5 have really broken away too. You go back here, there is 6th place Carson Gum, 7th place Jacob Rose with William Brock, Elijah Gilbert, and Doug. Here's your top 10 right now. Jacob Rose lost touch with the front 5. Anderson, though, you know, you gotta wonder, does Matt McIntyre have anything for the 11? He might need a little bit of help. He keeps closing the gap each lap, but it's only by hundreds, not by tenths. And time is not on Matt McIntyre's side, nor is the fact that Cole Deaver, James Shelly, and James Qualls are all lined up there in 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and quickly reeling him in faster than McIntyre is reeling in the 11. Looks like they may encounter Noah Ponser again first before they catch Aiden Shepard, 17. So let's see. Where in the world is Anderson going to catch the 28? Has to swing wide. On Ponser, can McIntyre fill the hole? Contact! He wrecked the 28! They saved it though, and now Shelly's got damage. They stacked up behind the 28. Shelly's got quite a bit of front end damage, and he's got to come to pit road. While running in the top 5, McIntyre has lost a lot of momentum after running to the back of Ponser. And that has completely changed up your top 5. Deaver now is the one trying to run down the 11 of Anderson. Qualls moves into 3rd, Carson Gum to 4th, and now the battle for 5th between Gilbert and Brock. But what a tough break there for James Shelly, who had nothing to do with that incident. It was an innocent victim. He was running in the top 5, and just like that, a good day goes south in the closing stages of this race. Anderson coming into this race 18th in the point standings. He has 2 top 5s this season in that 11 car, looking for his 3rd and looking for his 1st career win in the Pizza Hut X Series. The driver is trying to run him down as Cole Deaver, but Deaver is over a 2.5 back. I don't see any way that he's going to be able to run down this 11 unless something drastic happens to Anderson. in these final 6 laps. Daniel Olson was just on pit road again, 32. He's been off the pace for a majority of this race since being involved, actually being the start of our only caution so far today. And wait a minute, I just heard the 11 left. The 11 might be in fuel conservation mode. Now keep in mind, 14 cars stayed out on that last restart, or on our only restart, on our only caution. 15th on back, they came to pit road. Now I don't, right off the top of my head, remember who up here in the front were the drivers that came to pit road and who were the drivers that stayed out. But I know the 11 for certain was one that stayed out, and it sounds like he's lifting there in 3 and 4, trying to save a little bit of fuel. 4 laps to go for the leaf filter Chevrolet. That ride has been to victory lane only once in Pizza Hut X Series history, and that was last season with Stuart Gratton behind the wheel, winning at the track we just came from last week, Bristol Dirt. Nick Gunther was the driver of the 11 back in season 1, never put the car in victory lane. And Jordan Anderson trying to put Colleague Racing in victory lane for only the 2nd time, and the caution is out! Oh boy! Looks like this race may end under yellow. Not that it would have made a whole lot of a difference. I don't think anybody was going to catch Jordan Anderson anyway. But the yellow flag comes out here when the leader took 3 laps to go. And I think that iced it as well, because now under these pacing laps, whatever fuel Anderson wasn't able to save under green, he will most definitely be able to save here under caution. So, looks like we got Kyle Langeland with a lot of front end damage on pit road. It has not been a good day for the Dodges out of Fitzwater Australia Racing. Chelsea Bowles already out of the race, Daniel Olson multiple laps down, and now Kyle Langeland on pit road with the entire front bumper missing. 2 to go was just shown for Jordan Anderson. We'll try and be back in time for the checkers as we show you what put us under the caution to finish out today's race here at Atlanta. And it was Daniel Olson again. The lap traffic has played havoc with the leaders here today. Christian Merrick Jr. tries to go to the outside of Olson here, heading into turn 1. Olson, I don't know if he didn't realize he was there or not, squeezes him up into the wall. And then right there, that contact's going to shoot the 32 into a spin. He's going to come right back down the racetrack in front of traffic. And who's going to hit him? It's going to be none other than his teammate in the 77, Kyle Langeland, going to come into view here in just a moment. Oh, gets sideswiped there by P.J. Williams as well. And there's the shot by Langeland. And whoa, Chloe Erickson just avoided. Oh, look out. Coming back down the track and almost got hit there by Ponser, Douthitt, and Flickinger. But boy, not a good day to be a Dodge Challenger, it seems. P.J. Williams sustained quite a bit of right side damage from that as well. But that is what brought out the caution for the final time today. Let's take a look now as we go back live for the checkered flag. Jordan Anderson en route to his first career win in the Pizza Hut X Series. Field in turn 2, the white flag was just moments ago displayed over the hood of Jordan Anderson's Chevrolet, and it looks like Anderson is going to become the fourth rookie to go to victory lane this season. So far, we've had 5 races and only 1 veteran has been able to take a checkered flag, that of course being Angel Navarro at Las Vegas. Crenshaw won at Daytona. You had, oh no, I'm sorry. Nope. Ignore what I said. We've had 6 races, technically. And we've had 2 veterans go to victory lane. For the rookies, you had Crenshaw at Daytona. You had Glenn Douthitt and Chloe Erickson last week at Bristol. And here today, the heads up Georgia 250 is going to go to Jordan Anderson. He wins at Atlanta. 2 cautions here today. Both of them started by Daniel Olson, who was started on the pole for today's race. So now the question is, what side of the spectrum is tomorrow's Hershey's Cup Series race going to fit? Will it be a caution strategy race, or will it be long green flag race all the way to the end with fuel strategy in between? That's going to be a big question that we'll have to settle tomorrow, but today it belongs to Jordan Anderson, who had one of the strongest cars, no doubt about that. I'm just curious to see, did he have the fastest lap? No, he didn't. Anderson wasn't even in the top 10 for fastest laps. Gilbert actually had the fastest lap, but no doubt he had one of the strongest cars. He checked out after starting on the outside of the front row to take the race lead at the start of this thing, and then on the only restart we had today, he checked out on that as well. Nobody got to his back bumper to challenge him for the lead or the race win. Carson Gum will bring it home in second. He was outside the top 10 in the point standings, or not the point standings, but in the running order on the restart. And I think he was one of the drivers that actually came to pit road under our first caution. Cole Deaver will bring it home in third, so a great run for him. The defending champion, Elijah Gilbert, may have just worked his way into the top 10 in the points with a fourth place run. William Brock will get fifth place, so a great top 5 run for him. James Qualls gets sixth, so Qualls will stay in the top 10 in the points. Scott Roush, we never talked about him today. I think that caution came out in a very timely fashion for him. He couldn't get seventh. It's a great run for him. Matt McIntyre is going to get 8th after we saw the contact he had with Noah Poncer. 9th will be Kyle Keith, and Jacob Rose will bring it home in the 10th position. As you look on down here through the remainder of your finishing results, you had got Austin LaPlante came in as the points leader. He's going to finish the day out in the 19th position. Ashlyn Boyd on the other, I'm sorry, not Ashlyn Boyd, Madeline Crenshaw rather, who came in second in points, trying to take that points lead away. She's going to finish the day out in the 30th position. Navarro not too much better in 24th. We had 34 cars finish on the lead lap. Ralph Mason was the last of those. Off the lead lap are the cars of Aiden Shepard, Al Lagasse, James Shelley, who was running in the top 5 when he had to come to pit road after that damage he sustained from the checkup between Poncer and McIntyre. He's going to finish 37th. Glenn Dewitt also a lap down, 38th after his win last week, and Noah Poncer finished 3 laps down in 39th. And then we had 3 cars finish out of the race, all teammates out of Fitzwater Australia Racing, finishing 40th, 41st, and 42nd. Langeland, Olson, and Chelsea Bowles. So very tough run here today for that team as a whole, having 3 of their drivers finishing out of the race. But that is going to do it from today's race here at Atlanta. Jordan Anderson, has he now put his name into the conversation to be in the chase for the championship this season? Only time will tell. Thank you all for tuning in to today's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full fishing results. These are your rookie points and overall points heading into our next race, which will be in 2 weeks at Texas Motor Speedway. Next week, it's only the Hershey's Cup Series with their road course racing at Infineon. And tomorrow, the Hershey's Cup Series will be capping off this Atlanta race weekend with the Folds of Honor 500. So hope you will tune in for that. Thank you all for tuning in to today's race, and we will see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.